This week, stop calling it the Clipsal, say Clipsal organisers about the Clipsal. Loberthal apple grower says maybe Von Einem might have had a few more years left if he'd just eaten more apples in terrible marketing campaign. And Jeremy Cordeaux reveals the prize jackpot for his podcast's quiz segment next week.
AeroGuard, soft contact lenses, polymer or plastic banknotes, permanent press fabrics, not to speak of the flu vaccine, billions and billions of dollars.
From the city where making friends is easy, providing you went to high school together, your partners already like each other, and you don't live more than 20 minutes away. It's the Adelaide Mail Week in Review. We drop this podcast every week. Give us a follow on your app of choice, please and thank you. I'm Trent Bartlett, and joining me is the man who says there's too much diversity on 5AA. It's Dan Schmidt. Daniel Schmidt, hello.
Bring Jeremy Cordeaux back. That's all I'm saying. Look, I've seen his clips. He's doing reels now. They are awful. Every take is a bad take. Jeremy, you need to stop. Yeah. Last week he was saying how great capitalism is, and now this week's reels are like he's complaining about how much Nvidia is making in the stock market, in the free market. So I don't know what he's going on about. He also says, this is a great one, young people have no common sense these days, and he's been convicted of drink driving at least 6 times, I think.
Well, drink driving is just common sense. It gets you from point A to point B in the fastest way possible. Don't have to wait around for an Uber, which is woke.
You know what? He is correct.
I am familiar with his work. I had the fortune of listening and watching his podcast this past week. He's not only doing reels, although you're right to point out he is getting he's setting Instagram on fire with his reels. He's also uploading his full podcasts onto YouTube. Okay. This is what he had to say about Anthony Albanese's trip to South Africa for the G20.
It amused me to hear that Anthony Albanese in South Africa for the G20 had paid tribute to the Australians who had helped end apartheid.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, you can't.
Whoa. Wait.
It amused him. I guess it made him happy to hear that our nation's leader has gone and paid tribute to the cessation, the people who contributed to the end of a horrible regime. Obviously, nothing untoward can come of this.
The end of it.
This is the man who worked so hard to impose apartheid on Australia.
Wait, when was this? Like, what, a couple of years ago?
When did this come in? Jeremy Cordeaux fighting the small man's fight there. Did you hear about this week? Bit of news coming out of Western Australia with the Crazy Horse at the centre of it. A Joondalup councillor has resigned after he accidentally wandered into the Crazy Horse and bought a beer on a work trip that he then submitted in his receipts as a business expense. The councillor, Nige Jones, says that as soon as he realised that the place was a strip club, that is when a waitress wearing a bikini walked past, he sculled his beer as quickly as he could. Jones insists it was all a genuine mistake brought about by restless sleep, Adelaide's seediest street, and the fact that he's not familiar with the Adelaide CBD. He maintains that he was inside for 20 minutes max, and only because he'd been lying in bed unable to sleep and thought that a bedtime beer would help him doze off. He assures us he's not a pervert. He said, if I was a pervo, I'd have stayed longer. It's nice.
That is true.
Now, 20 minutes to cotton on that you're in a strip club. Does it take that long?
I've been to the Crazy Horse once before, I think. I'm more of a Strats guy, you know. Know me by name there.
Yeah. You're a man of class.
You know, well within 20... I know councillors aren't the smartest people, but you know pretty soon as you're walking up those stairs that indeed what the establishment is. But look, I'm just glad to see council getting back to the basics, getting back to the 4 hours, rates, rubbish, roads, really hot chicks. That's what I think it's all about.
Jones was ordered to complete a compulsory ethical decision-making course, but he's quit.
Oh,
He's quit to spend more time with his family, which is, it's going to extreme lengths to just avoid taking an ethical business or ethical decision-making course.
well, if there's one thing that councillors don't like doing sometimes, it's making those ethical decisions.
Is putting a beer on council expense usually kosher, and would you scull it?
I don't know. I think it's ethical that he claimed the beer. I certainly, if I was in this genuine situation, I wouldn't have done so, and probably would have avoided a whole lot of mess.
I am picturing Nige in there standing at the bar waiting for his pint, surrounded by topless women, having that moment of realization, like Homer in the lesbian bar, realizing that the crazy horse doesn't have a fire escape.
Enjoy your death trap, ladies.
Now, Dan, you've been busy this week. You've been spending a lot of time at the post office.
I've been spending a lot of time at the post office, handing in my receipts from various work trips. But no, what I've been doing, and the orders for the Adelaide Mail Christmas ornaments have actually been going off. We got the old ho 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 barn, we got the pigeon, and we got the bunyip. They've all been selling extremely well. It's been great. We've been mailing them out. They should be arriving very, very soon. Some have arrived already, which is great. So we encourage you. There's not many left. I'm looking at the pile now. The pile's going down very quickly, and there's not many left. So get on these if you want them on your Christmas tree, because we won't be doing them again because packing takes a lot of work. I'll tell you that much, and a lot of time. Yeah.
I have dodged that whole palaver entirely. Thank you, Dan.
Yes, that's all right. But get your hands on these before they're all gone. They are absolutely brilliant. Will not break, as I keep telling people. But if they do break, send us a kind note and we'll refund you or replace them.
But Daniel, how much would you pay for something like this? $150?
No, I would not pay $150. I wouldn't even pay $20. But you should pay $20 because that's basically that's how much they are, and that's just making us a little bit of profit. But these are proudly made. We could have gone to China, made them cheaper. We didn't. We went to Ridgehaven. Don't hold that against us. Still buy them, please. Made in Ridgehaven, made in South Australia. 3 of them for $20. Great. You got your shitty office Christmas party coming up. Great Kris Kringle gift. Always a $20 limit. So get on those. Why not? And I have been dropping some around town. I dropped one of these on a tree near the mall pigeon. And literally within a minute of posting a story on our Instagram, a young lad came up and found it. He's like, "Is it still there?" I'm like, "I've just posted the story. Like, I wasn't even expecting." He's like, "I just happened to be going down the mall, and it was crazy." So good find. Done 2 Oban ones. I generally put them there around 9 o'clock. Sometimes still there at 5 o'clock. So they've been lasting a lot longer, but people do avoid going to the O-Barn in fear of getting stabbed. So that is probably why, but well done to those who have braved the Tea Tree Plaza interchange and got their hands on a Ho-Ho-Ho Barn Christmas decoration, limited edition.
Your stabbing habit has finally come back to bite you in the butt.
AdelaideMail.com. Get them today. We'll be taking orders up until second week of December, I guess.
Knowing us, it'll probably stay live on the website until like the 3rd week of January. So, there's no hurry. Dr. Joanna Howe has been in the news this week.
Why?
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
Why?
For those who don't know, she is the anti-abortion advocate who uses any opportunity to remind us that she's a professor, who was banned from state parliament and accused of bullying. She's claimed that her employer, the University of Adelaide, has granted her immunity from complaints made by anybody who is pro-choice.
Really?
Which I question the logistics, the practicalities of that. Like let's say she parks illegally in a disabled spot. I'm not saying she does do this.
No.
But let's imagine she's a person who parks in a disabled spot. A person with a disabled parking permit tries to park but can't because someone without a permit is already in there. They complain to the uni. Does the uni then go, "Oh, that's terrible. So sorry, we'll get the tow truck there straight away"? Actually, before we do that, bit of an awkward question, just part of our policy. where do you stand on abortion rights? Some choice belonging to a woman or something that should be policed by the state? A woman?
Oh.
Well. Can't help you.
Enjoy your walk.
Dr. Howe says that the uni has agreed that those with ideologically opposed viewpoints to hers will be deemed vexatious, and any complaints they make about her will not be acted upon. Definition of vexatious, Dan?
Definition of vexatious. Meaning having prejudice. And no, I got no idea. I can't define this.
No. Well, that's what you'd think. I looked it up. The definition: causing irritation or annoyance.
Oh, so okay.
The complaints.
So the complaints are annoying. So we just won't handle it.
them.
How do I get this in my workplace? Because I find the complaints against me annoying. Despite how wicked my Italian accent was on the podcast last week, I find the complaints about it annoying.
The university has conducted 6 investigations into complaints against Howe, and the university reportedly required her to do an anti-bias course. However, Howe spent $100,000 taking the university to the Fair Work Commission for bullying. That went to conciliation, but Howe said she won because she didn't have to do the course, although the commission says that the outcomes of the conciliations are confidential. That is another incredible length to go to get out of doing some mandatory training. We've got Western Australian councillors who are just quitting their jobs to get out of mandatory training. We've got people receiving parking fines in South Australia spending $50,000 to get out of paying a $100 parking fine. This is a new level of pettiness and laziness that I can get around.
You can have another tab open while you do these mandatory courses. Believe you me, you can watch some your baseball highlights, which I very much do, and just click through the video on the other one. So maybe there just needs to be some knowledge around that, and we'd get more of these mandatory courses done.
There are highlights?
Ethically.
A statement released by Howe at the time said Howe would not have to comply with the corrective actions and that no further action will be taken in this matter. So that's that.
Okay, done and dusted.
I didn't realize you can just have these things dismissed by putting out a statement that says you won't have to comply. Oh, and by the way, that speeding ticket that I copped on the freeway for going 120 down on the down track, I'm releasing a statement that says Trent will not have to comply with the payment of this fine and no further action will be taken. So,
this is the classic Warren Treadray defense, I think.
Yes. She's a pirate. Is that what you're suggesting?
Hey,
her eyes be eyes.
There could be some sovereign citizency around the edges. I'm not sure. Her husband is the Ugly Houses guy. You know the Ugly Houses guy on
Yes.
Yeah, which I didn't.
Yeah, always a jump scare when he pops up.
Yeah. Your house is shit, so you should feel bad. Well, I didn't. Anyway, I don't think many people know this.
What are you doing on my front lawn?
Anyway. So maybe he could just start building houses, although he has no qualifications in architecture, and just say he just does not need to comply with the current building regulations. So maybe that's a good way around all of this for both of them. She got $100,000. What was it for to be represented? That's really going to eat into her Facebook ads budget, though. So, probably only slightly going to eat into her budget.
Yeah, I think it's 1% of the budget. Did you happen to go down to Henley Beach last Saturday?
God, no.
Well, you missed out on about 24 Extinction Rebellion activists gathered near the jetty on Saturday in a 20-minute demonstration that saw them bury their faces in the sand while wearing masks, representing Peter Malinauskas, Anthony Albanese, Penny Wong, Donald Trump. I just off the top, I want to question their commitment to the bit here. For those watching, this is what that protest looked like. Now, this is the same we'll call it an organisation loosely, Extinction Rebellion, that blockade bridges in London, that glue themselves to highways, that throw red paint on government buildings. They've gone down to Henley Beach on a spring day for 20 minutes to, well, not bury their heads in the sand, but kind of lay their faces on the sand. That's what that looked like.
Look, it's
describe what it looked like.
That's one of their better metaphors. Burying your head in the sand, because they're obviously burying their head in the sand around, environmental issues. That's what they're saying they're doing. But yeah, I don't think the saying is touching my nose lightly against the sand. The government has touched its nose lightly against the sand here.
I do think that protesters, I mean, they're never ones to worry about subtlety or nuance with their costumes, are they? They're the kind of costumes where, I mean, if you rocked up at a Halloween party looking like this, you're probably going to be asked to go back and put a bit more effort in. Like, it's a bit on the nose. We've got Alba, obviously. We've got Peter Malinauskas there, represented by I think it's a suit and then a paper mask. With Mally's printed face on it.
Straight down to office works.
I do like that the Santos CEO, which I get is a little harder to represent in a visual way. People aren't going to look at, a mask of the Santos CEO and go, it's a Santos CEO. He's been given that character and then got back and thought, how am I gonna represent the Santos CEO? And what he's done is he's got a hard hat that says CEO Big Oil on it in bold lettering. In his right hand, he's got a cigar, and then in his left hand, he's got a sack with a dollar sign on it. So presumably a big bag of money, and then on his lapel, a name badge that says Santos, which is ridiculous and a childish caricature of what of what someone thinks when they think of a CEO. Obviously, the real Santos CEO doesn't look anything like that. He looks like this.
Kevin Gallagher, I believe his name is, because I just looked it up.
Don't humanise him. Finally this week, a rubbish truck driver had to make an emergency decision to dump all of the rubbish he collected that morning after a small fire started in the back of the truck. 7 News covered this story. I think that they might be angling to start making some contributions to Adelaide Mail here. See if you can pick up on it, Tana.
Garbage truck driver's been forced to dump its load after it caught fire in the city. He was doing his morning rounds when smoke started pouring from the back.
It was the headline, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the headline.
Yeah, it was the headline. Very good.
The headline said,
a smelly load. I don't know how to read. I saw the end of it. It said smelly load. I wasn't looking at it.
Truck dumps smelly load.
Truck dumps smelly load. Look, very good. Where was this?
I was in the CBD.
Okay, well, I've been to parts of the CBD where you would not notice the actual difference.
All right, that's all I got for you this week. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Hey.
Has it? Not for the listener.
Look, 7 News, thank you so much for contributing so much to our podcast. It's been great. We will not pay you for those, but you should pay us for the Christmas decorations. We'll do one last plug. We got the bunyip, we got the pigeon, and we got the ho 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 barn. $20, made in South Australia. Can't go wrong. Jazz up your Christmas tree. If you are listening and you are enjoying the show, rate it, I guess. That's how we do. You told me to remind you about this.
Follow. Maybe follow.
Just follow us first. Then see if you like it. You don't have to rate us before you don't try us. But, if you catch us at the Crazy Horse having a beer, make sure you keep the receipts and we will reimburse you.
See you next week.
See you next week, bud.